Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a high quality chopping it up with my man, John Venus.
What's up, guys?
Yo, so check this out. A lot of you guys don't know, a lot of you guys know John Venus is a vegan bodybuilder as well, but a lot of you guys don't know that he's actually been through very severe acne, just like Chiboy right here. And I think it's just, whenever I have the opportunity to pick someone else's mind, especially on a topic that I find very near and dear to me, I do it because I feel like everyone has a different perspective. Everyone had to deal with it in a different way, and he was in a different country. So there's lots of different interesting things to this. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to chop it up about, kind of explain to you a whole story with acne, and then hopefully we can just kind of give you little insights and little like different ideas as we go. But yeah, just strap yourself in, enjoy. No edits. This can be a long, nice video to watch during cardio or driving or whatever. So I think you should just explain kind of your story, like when did you start getting acne and things like that, and how to progress and stuff.
Yeah, man. So, like, the first time that I started getting spots was maybe when I was like 14 or something. Mm. But it was nothing severe. It wasn't anything to abnormal or anything. It was like the regular spot here and there, like a lot of people have. But then it kind of got worse and worse. By the time I was 15, it was pretty bad. My forehead was the first that started to get covered. And by the time I was 16, I started getting, in the rest of my face and stuff like that. But it wasn't extremely bad. It was like a lot of small spots. But then it progressed and got worse and worse. And when I was about 17, that's, when it was at the worst. It was like,
yeah, like what did it look like? What was the worst for you?
Yeah, there are like whiteheads and blackheads and those normal ones, but the ones I had I didn't have the massive ones that stuck out a lot.
I had nodular cysts.
Yeah, exactly. I had those. It was kind of like on the inside of the skin, so it would kind of like be like really, really inflamed, like, and red, and it would be like kind of like shiny. It's like really, really weird. It looks like there is something else on your skin. It doesn't even look like acne anymore because there are loads of them in the same place, and they kind of colonize, and it just makes your face look horrible. And that's the kind of acne that I had for a very long time. Probably about.
Was that the kind of was that the kind of acne that would have like touch, like it was pressure, like it was like tender whenever you would just
it was really painful.
Like, so did you have to go through the whole deal where you went to bed and you would lay on whatever active breakout it was, and it would really, really hurt?
Yeah, I mean,
I remember that.
Yeah, you just get used to it in the end because otherwise you can't sleep.
Yep.
But yeah, it does hurt. I mean, yeah, there was no way around it, and I can't just sleep on my back with the back of my head touching the pillow. I always sleep on my side. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I kind of like found a tactic of like putting my hand like on my forehead or something to make a little bit of space between my face and the pillow. So that's usually even how I sleep now.
It's funny how quickly people who have had acne before can relate to each other. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you remember like doing that trick with the towel where you'd like put a towel on your pillow that way you didn't have to change the sheet so much and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like when you had that acne, was it really difficult for you socially? Were people like pointing it out a lot, or was it kind of just like easy? Like,
yeah, I mean, I was always, pretty like, active, and I did a lot of sports, and I had quite a bit of muscle even when I was pretty young, so people wouldn't really mess with me in that way. But they don't have to say anything. You can tell by their faces. You know how bad your face is. You know like how different it is to other people. So it's unavoidable. Like it's impossible to hide it. So obviously that people are looking strange at you. You notice it. You see a few weird faces, kind of disgusted faces, and it's hard not to be affected by it. But yeah, a lot of people did give me looks, but no one made fun of me or anything like that because I kicked their ass. But yeah, pretty much.
How plain and simple that
exactly.
is.
I mean, it was really bad. So a lot of people would always kind of relate me to the guy with a lot of acne and stuff like that.
The acne guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. Or like pizza face is what they would call it here.
Yeah, it sounds pretty American.
I know. Yeah, we say like the meanest shit possible.
Yeah.
Dude, it's terrible, man. And I remember like, luckily for me, when I was getting called those things and I was being kind of like made fun of or whatever, like I was already kind of a strong spirit. Like I was already like doing my own things and stuff. I was playing soccer and stuff. So I had a lot of things that I could be like, that sucks, but I'm busy. I have to go here tonight. So I could kind of get away with it. But I always felt bad for the kids who had the same bad acne as me. Kids would call them the same things, but you could tell it just like fucking ruined them, and they would just get quiet and introvert for the whole entire day, man.
Yeah, people react to attacks and in a very, very different way. It really depends on the personality you have before you get the acne, you know?
True.
A lot of people suffer from depression. I did feel it's the only time I felt a little bit depressed was maybe when I was like 15 or something. Yeah, 15. And it only lasted like 2 days, but, you know, that was the lowest I went. You know, no suicide thoughts or anything like that. Just like I was feeling a little down, which is completely normal. But yeah, a lot of people just take it really, really seriously, and like it ruins their entire, you know, high school experience or college experience, whatever. And it's really sad to see, because, you know, it really is, you know, something that shouldn't be made fun of, or it shouldn't affect your quality of life at all, but unfortunately it does.
There shouldn't be so much weight on it, but of course, like people are saying things about you, you're going to pay attention to those things and hear them. But yeah, it's disgusting to me. Like I say that all the time. I always say I'm disgusted, but it's true, man. I'm disgusted by people who make fun of people who have acne, simply because the people who don't have acne, who are making fun of you for having acne, at that time in your life especially, they probably just haven't had any hardships yet, so they just don't know how to understand and relate whatever they're dealing with to what you're dealing with. So it's like literally the first person, like that. This is how I always think about it. It's like when you're a kid, the first person to have something weird about them, that's the kid you make fun of.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Here's a weird question, just out of my own interest. Did you ever have a situation where, like, a girl, like maybe you were trying to flirt with a girl, or you're trying to talk to a girl, hit on a girl, and she like denied you or said something about your acne, or was like, you know, did it ever like inhibit you with girls?
Yes, I think, you know, I don't think it was anything that girls did against me. There were some mean people that, you know, gave looks. Not that I cared at all. And at that point, I didn't even try to get with the girls, because in my mind, I knew in my mind that I wouldn't be able to because of my face. So I didn't even bother. I just focused on my own stuff.
It would straight up stop you from even
I wouldn't even. Yeah, exactly. I would think it would be awesome. You know, obviously I thought about it all the time, like every other 16-year-old, but for me, I just like, okay, I guess that's out of the question until my face gets better, so I'm just going to put that off until later. So yeah, I didn't really deal with girls at that point too much.
I had one experience that like stuck with me, and it's not like it really like ruined me or nothing like that, but it was just like, it like blew my mind how like just rude this chick was. I wasn't even trying to hit on her or nothing. I was just out at lunch during high school, and I was with my group of friends. This girl comes up, and she's like friends with one of the people that was within that group. And so then I get into a conversation between this girl, her friend, and then me, and then her friend leaves, and then it's just me and that girl that I didn't really know. And she straight up said, "You're the ugliest person I've ever seen. Why are you talking to me?"
Whoa,
I thought that was
horrible.
just in movies, dude. Like,
yeah,
I was just like, who are you?
I would be so pissed off, man.
It was crazy to me, man.
Shit.
I don't know. It just blew my mind. But I think I just want to like, the reason I wanted to say that is there are terrible people in any part of your life, but in the beginning part of your life, those people are going to seem so much more affecting to you, because you have such a small like source of thing going on. You're really just going to school and then maybe playing like some sort of sport, and then that's your whole life. So the only people that you have to care or compare to are the people in that tiny little high school or middle school or whatever it is. So just realize that we have both gone through that thing, the whole acne thing, the whole making fun of thing, everything. And I'm 23, you're 24.
Yeah.
24. So we now have come out of it, and then we have also expanded our horizons and stuff, and we interact with a lot of different people at this point. And I can tell you that those people that are shit talking you and stuff in high school, they are irrelevant at this point in my life. Yep. I don't ever have to see those people again, ever, and never can those people come up and affect me anymore, because I've now established my life in such a way that like the people I do interact with would never talk bad about me if I did start breaking out really bad again.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just hate that shit, and I understand. Like the reason I always like harp on this is because I know there's people who are in high school who are watching me, and I know exactly what you're going through, and there was nobody for me to watch or relate to when I was going through it. So that's why I try to like tell these stories and stuff, because it's relatable.
Yeah, and at that age, everything seems like it's the end of the world. Sometimes, it's like, oh, you just say to yourself that, oh, the high school years, the most important years of my life are gone because I have this on my face. I'm never going to have the peak of my life back. A lot of people see it that way. And, for me, like, it sucked because, yeah, sure, like, when you're in high school, you're supposed to get with girls, do this, do that.
Go to parties, go
yeah,
to
exactly.
dances.
And I felt I didn't, like, I went out to parties and everything, but I really never tried to get with girls or anything because I knew that it wouldn't work, or I thought that it wouldn't work, which in reality it's just a matter of confidence and just being comfortable in your own skin. So yeah, I don't know, man, it's just crazy how perspective changes. It's what I think is the most important thing, like right now, if you're in high school, is to realize that is not the peak of your life.
Yep.
You decide when the peak of your life is. You decide when it's gonna be good. Like, high school doesn't matter. Like, for me, those are the worst. Like, it was the worst time of my life. Like, I couldn't care less about it right now. I have my whole life to look forward to create, to shape the way that I want it to shape.
Yeah.
And like, that stuff is temporary, guys. And you will have the opportunity to create something amazing for yourself if you choose to not focus on the negative side of things.
When you're in high school, you're living as a generalist. You don't have any sort of specialty yet. You're just going through the general courses to get through to get your GED. So then you can go to college, again, do even more general courses, and then finally you get to choose your specialty. And I'm not even saying that college is where you're going to decide where you're going to be special and what specialty you're going to take. But what I'm saying is you are doing pretty much nothing. You have almost nothing really exciting to like, oh, I'm fucking super passionate about fitness or something. Like, you're going through history classes. Maybe you hate history.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when you get into maybe not even your 20s, once you've done something for over 5 years or a long period of time, you start becoming a specialist in that thing. And if you really enjoy that thing and you keep progressing in that thing will consume you so much more than you even can understand and wrap your head around right now, because you just aren't, it's just not there for you yet. You're not old enough. You haven't done enough stuff yet. But I'm telling you right now, even if I was still completely covered in cysts and stuff, and I still get them, man, there's one up here that still hasn't gone away. It's been here for like 3 or 4 weeks, but it couldn't even slightly hinder what I'm doing because I am so into it. I wake up, I immediately start working. I go to the gym. I come back. I record or edit a video that I've already made, and then I do like the rest of my things, which will be like coaching people, helping them lose weight. I'll answer comments and help people like figure out certain things about their lives and stuff. I like manage my clothing company. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm so consumed that even if I had something for people to make fun of, I would be like, that's nice. I don't have time really to like, yes, okay, see you later. Okay, bye. And I'll never talk to him again. See what I'm saying? It gets easier. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It gets easier. How did you, because now your face looks pretty damn clear to me, in my opinion. How did that come about? How did you get clear?
All right. So basically the first step that I took was, first I tried a lot of different creams. There was this really famous cream that everyone was taking. I don't remember what it's called right now, but it was like a thing with 3 things. It was like 2 washes and 1 cream, and didn't do shit. It was Pro something. I don't remember.
Proactive.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
It didn't work. I tried loads of different creams. Did not work. Tried some antibiotics. Did not work. So the next step was Accutane. So I went for Accutane. I started when I was 18 on Accutane, and I did it for about 8 months. And yeah, it
cleared up.
It took a while. In the first 2 months, 3 months didn't do anything, but then eventually it started clearing up. But I got really dry skin. It was really uncomfortable. I felt really weird in my body. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
It's toxic.
It is absolutely horrible. Like, I would never have done it if I could go back in time, because it didn't really help. Like, I got clear. By the time I was 19, I was clear. I just had fresh scars and some color, some red spots and stuff like that. But then a year after that, again, it started coming back. Not as bad, but pretty damn bad. So yeah, and then yeah, it's been a long ass journey. Like it started when I was 15 and it stopped when I was like, I don't know, like 21 or something.
So it kind of stopped naturally as you got old. You kind of grew out of it.
Yeah, it did. And I really hope it doesn't come back. But yeah, exactly. I when it came back, I started taking all kinds of antibiotics and nothing worked. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not, ruining my body anymore. It's obviously it's really, really toxic. So I just, waited it out. I was like, screw it. By that time I was already confident in myself. So I didn't really care anyway how I looked. And plus I had a girlfriend anyway. So I was just like, screw it. I'm just going to wait until it goes away. If it doesn't, boo-hoo. But I'm going to just do my best anyway. So yeah, that's how you got clear.
I wanted you to be on this chopping it up for like one of the biggest reasons I wanted you to talk about your acne is because I have not dealt with this, and there are questions that come about this all the damn time, and I think you can provide some pretty interesting insight. Is you said that you took Accutane, you had your whole course, it cleared you up, so you got this huge, I'm sure, gratifying, great feeling looking in the mirror in the mornings, and instead of waking up and looking in the mirror and being like, here's that one, then that one's a new. Instead, it was like you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you're like, wow, this is like mind blowing. It's crazy. I have clear skin. You like touch your face. It blows, still blows my fucking mind, man. I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. But then you had to deal with getting that like reward and then watching it just go away and start getting acne again. How did you like? There's so many thoughts you can put in this, but like, how did you deal with like? Was it depressing? Like, how did you handle getting acne coming back? Like, how did you cope with that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I started getting acne when I was 16, very very bad. So by the time I was 20, right before it came back again, I've kind of built my personality. I was so used to having acne for that long that eventually I was just taking Accutane as it was just a bonus because I've kind of like developed self-confidence and acceptance around it. So once it vanished, it was awesome. I felt great. It was awesome. So, but the thing is, I wasn't really extremely depressive at that point because of the acne, but it was a huge bonus. I was super happy about it. And when it came back, I'm not going to lie, even though I was really self-confident and, didn't, care as much as other people, it still sucked ass. Like, I really, really, like, it was a very, very, demotivating period for me. I didn't let it control me, but obviously there was something big that I gained that was taken away from me again, which was like a normal looking face. So obviously, like, through mindset training and everything, I try not to focus on it, but there's some days where you like really think about it, like, oh, when you're taking a picture, like, I really wish I didn't like, have these things so people, wouldn't have to look at that as a center of attention, So yeah, it was a little bit of a roller coaster, but at that point I've already like established myself, who I am, and I just promised myself that I'm going to do the very best I can no matter what happens. And with that mindset, I just couldn't allow myself to get too depressed about, getting acne again. Plus, I was so used to it from before. So, it sucks, but it's just the way it is. You can't really control the outcome.
I can just imagine how it feels. Like I've put myself into this situation in my mind so many times thinking about it, because like it's definitely still a possibility for me. Like,
right,
it feels like yesterday I had acne, but when if this is happening to you, if you finished a course of Accutane, or maybe you finished a certain kind of antibiotic, anything that's made you clear, and now you're starting to see those pimples come back up, don't try to be so strong about it that you don't tell anybody. You're like, oh man, I'm so fucking badass. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Because I did that a lot, and to a certain point, I didn't care what people thought, but to a certain point, I did care what people thought. And there's no need and there's no shame in reaching out to like maybe your best friend or one of your family members, or even, especially now that we have the internet so readily available, you can find people who are extremely relatable to you, and reach out to those people and explain like, yo man, it's like, I thought I was confident, or maybe even like before you had the initial clear up, you really didn't even care about your acne, but now because you had to go through this clear up and then having it come back and taken away from you, like you're feeling really bad. Don't hide that stuff, because I think that was my biggest problem, is I just wanted to be so fucking macho that I couldn't handle admitting it, and it helped so much when I let people know, and especially when people start talking back to me.
Yeah, I had the same kind of experience in this beginning. I didn't really, talk to anyone about it. But guys, like, I consider myself a very confident person. Like even as a kid, I was pretty confident with myself, and compared to other people with acne, like I was way more confident. I was way more comfortable with it. But even me with like all that confidence, it's still something, it was a center of my life because everything that I, did had, obviously had something to do with my acne because
Yep.
if it requires my presence, obviously I'm going to be there with my face, and my face has those huge circles of mountains and stuff like that, big tomato farm. So it was really, really hard to, get used to it. And, yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Like, even with the confidence, it was still the center of attention for me. Whatever I did, I had to, think about the acne. And whatever thought I had, it was something with acne. So I understand, like, how it can become depressive in the end.
Yeah,
But
it's very centric.
exactly. Every time you're going with friends, okay, like, how's my acne today? Every time you wake up in the morning, how is it today?
Yeah.
Is it better? Is it worse? Oh, shit. What are people going to think with this big one that just came between my eyebrows and stuff like that,
That's
which
the
I
one
always got. Yeah. So yeah, it no matter how confident you are, no matter how strong you are, you will think about it a lot because you can't hide it. It's right there. People look into your face, they make eye contact, and then you see them like looking away, looking, the eyes just moving a little bit up, like looking at your pimples and stuff like that. And that stuff, gets to you less for me than other people, but it still gets to you. So just know that even though you're strong and confident, you still should, express what you feel to your friends and family and stuff like that. There is no shame in that at all.
Yeah. And acne it's a traumatic event, whether you want to admit it or not. It's not as acute as another traumatic event. For example, a beating or a raping or something. That is something that happens, and it's like bam, that would just hit me right now. Acne is something that's going to be it's like a low, slow, traumatic event over time. You're going to have like this accumulation of little things people say that kind of stick with you, or little things that you've noticed that are sticking with you, and that stuff is slightly traumatic as it goes. Right. And I'd say that, like, with pretty much anybody who's gone through a traumatic event, it always comes down to them always hiding it, and then eventually they open up about it, and that's how they can finally kind of come to terms with it or come over it. And I think, like, acne is just like, in general in society, it's unacceptable for you to complain about your acne. Like, it's just like, it's just something that people have. Like, that's how it seems. Like, because people will have, like, regular people will have like a couple zits, so they're like, I have zits too. I don't complain about my zits. And you're like, this is not the same damn thing, bro. You have to deal with a zit that pops up, and tomorrow it's gonna be fucking gone, bro. Yeah. But I have to wake up and I look at my whole face. I can't even wear red shirts. I can't wear red hats because it's too close to my face, which is red, and it just makes it look more amplified. You see what I'm saying? And if you're like that, man, don't do what I did, and don't hide it down and try to be your own support system. Have at least one other person that you can outburst your stuff to, because even if they don't have something to tell you and they can just listen and accept you, getting all that off your chest is going to make you feel at least a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing that helped me a lot feel better about myself in the early days of acne was really like, it may not work for everyone, but for me, I just had to like realize that there's so many people that have a lot worse problems than, acne. There are people who can never walk again. They're paralyzed. Yes. There are people who are blind, deaf. And, that's the kind of stuff you don't really think about when you're young. But, when I started thinking more and more about that, I kind of realized, there are a lot of people who have it way, way worse than me. I should really like try to not put myself down as much, because it's really not as bad as I am making it out to be. So I really started creating this mindset that it's not as bad as I make it out to be, and there are people with way, way, way worse situations than you. So like I slowly like became more and more positive about it. So I just wanted to share like the kind of like mindset shift that happened for me to make me feel better about myself.
Exactly what he just said right there was what I was referring to earlier when I said that people haven't gone through something that would make them understand other things. By going through acne, you'll have to do things like he just said, have this mindset shift that will cause you to mature in mind. So as much as it sucks, do take a little bit of solace in knowing that because you have had acne early in your life, you're maturing much quicker at a mental level and a social level than a lot of people are. And for me personally, like maybe it won't benefit you quite the same way, but in my job, that has phenomenally made me leaps and bounds faster and farther than a lot of my like cohorts, because I've since an early age understood how to understand other people's perspectives, jump into other people's boots, and be empathetic to other people. One thing I want to jump back at, and this has nothing to do with what we just talked about, but we were talking about girls a little bit, and I think it's important to put this out there. You might be really centric and just like completely focused on the fact that like you think you can't go up to certain girls. You think even maybe any girls that you think are cute because you think they're cute, so therefore you don't think you're cute. It's not going to work. Bro, I have had so many girls, and I'm not talking about like now because I have followers and stuff. I've had so many girls that by the time I got confident around senior year when I was just doing my own thing, they would tell me, I never even noticed that I never noticed your acne. Like I knew you had acne, but I never noticed your acne. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but like I've had that said to me so many times. People would say, until you started talking about your acne,
exactly,
I never looked at it. It was just there and I just looked straight into your eyeballs. Like those are the friends that you want to have. Those are the people who are unconditional friends. Yeah. And those are much more scarce in the beginning of your life. So that's why it seems like there's not a lot of those people for now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only as big as a problem as you make it out to be, Yeah, if you don't care about it when you're talking to someone, that person is not going to care about it. If you kind of like feel really uncomfortable when you're talking to someone, kind of like, looking away, being shy, then, they'll like kind of realize that I guess he's shy because of his acne, what else could it be? So obviously they'll notice it more, this thing must be, really bad for him or whatever. But if you don't make a big deal out of it, other people won't. And that is the truth. I mean, it's not as bad as you think it is. And, even though it really, really seems horrible, other people don't actually think it's as bad as you think it is.
And if you're at that point where you are, like, we're talking about people who are kind of coping with it, trying to figure out how they want to deal with it. Say you're at that point where you currently are just shut down. Like you are in your house as much as you can possibly go, except for those times where you absolutely have to go outside. You try to keep it to a minimum. You don't even have pictures of yourself for the last couple of years because you just don't ever feel happy in a picture.
That was me.
Yeah, man, like that sucks. Like I don't have a lot of pictures of myself because at certain times I just didn't take pictures because I was like, I don't want to post that, or I don't want to keep that on my Facebook or MySpace. Actually, MySpace back then.
Yeah.
But if you're at that point, take small steps and force them. I know it's gonna suck fucking ass, bro.
It's not gonna be easy. We're not lying to you guys. Like it is difficult
because you're gonna turn every single time that someone looks or mentions it into like, oh, I better revert back to where it was before when it was safe and I was inside of my house. Yep. But nothing that anybody does that they're ever happy with, where they progress or they're proud of it or whatever, it doesn't come from doing easy shit. It comes from doing things that are difficult and then take time.
Right.
And oftentimes, I mean, almost all the time, you have to do stuff that's uncomfortable and not guaranteed. Exactly. Like, I can't tell you how many times I was not feeling that. Like, I was like, okay, I'm committing to going to whatever this is, like a big bowling event with like 12 of our friends from high school, and it's going to be on Friday. So I commit to it on Monday. But come around Thursday, I'm looking at my face and I'm like, oh, man, like I have like this new cyst right in the middle of my eyebrows. It's the only thing I can concentrate and focus on. And there's, maybe there's like some girls that I want to impress there or whatever. There's like some cool homies or something, right? And so then I would have this thought, and I would think, am I going to make up a reason to cancel so that I can be comfortable staying home, do whatever I want on the video games, PC, whatever, and then I don't even have to deal with it. It just makes it so much easier. No one's even going to look at me. I don't have to try nothing, and then it's all good, right? But I would never accept that. Like, I could never do that because I didn't want that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to treat myself like I was a lower class human because I knew I was not a fucking lower class human.
You didn't want it to control your life.
Exactly, man. I would not let that shit dictate me. So I would just force myself to go. And I would know. I mean, I was still aware. It's not like I was just like, oh, I'm going to go, and then I just forgot about it. I was aware every minute of it. But I would force it, man. I would force it. And then because I had forced it, I saw that certain people would still talk about it or look at it, but there were certain people that wouldn't even mention it and would treat me completely fine. And that, like, it would inspire me to be like, you know what, man, I'm gonna do that again next time I have a cyst. Like for example, one time I had to do a speech in front of my class with 3 cysts, huge cysts. And it was like the whole time I was thinking about it, I could have said, I'm sick today, so I can't show up to school. I said, fuck that shit, dude. And I just went up and did the speech. And I knew a lot of people were looking at it. But just because I had done certain things like that bowling incident and a couple other things that were smaller, I had built up to the fact that instead of going to a bowling alley with 8 of my friends that I was like, going in front of and being judged by, I was able to go in front of 40 kids in a classroom and be judged by them, but still be like, whatever, I'm just not even going to accept what they're going to throw at me. So, yeah, man, take those steps. And if you need to, please, I beg you and I implore you to force it, because you will be so happy that you did, and it'll build so much character and discipline and just like strength and character.
Exactly.
Now, being able to accept those hate, that whole pressure of society and stuff.
Yeah, getting out of your comfort zone is the best way, or the only way to grow as a person, no matter what you're doing. If it's business, self-development, being comfortable in your own skin, everything is about, like he said, stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's really easy. Like when you're 16, or whatever, you're in high school or in college, everything seems so important. It's like life is about getting laid, for example, or getting with girls. And, it might seem that way, and it might seem that the acne is actually, making you not achieve that. But guys, you just have to realize that life is so much more than that. It's so much more than impressing other people. It's so much more than people's opinions of you. It's all about you making yourself achieve something that you're proud of, and, developing as a person. It has nothing to do with what people think about you. It has nothing to do with this girl, how many times you gotten laid, whatever. It doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, leading your own life and being happy with yourself is the only thing that matters. The rest is just, some bullshit that is just, a creation of society and propaganda, whatever. Just focus on yourself and move. Take one step at a time, improve, and you'll forget about the rest, because in the grand scale of things, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just to elaborate a little bit more on that, life is about what you do as a human and who you are as a human, and nothing to do with what you look like as a human. In the grand scheme, like he was saying, especially when you start looking at us like our lifetimes are little blips, because that's how much time there really is in life. For example, say George Washington had a bunch of cysts. You don't know that shit because people don't talk about George Washington having cysts. They talk about him doing all the crazy stuff that he did as a president, stuff like that. I mean, that's a terrible analogy, but what I'm saying is, like, people don't remember you for your acne if you do something great and grandiose. They remember you for that great and grandiose thing. So find your passion, find what you want to do with your life, find what you want to be remembered for, find what you want to build and be proud of, and then focus on that. And don't focus on your acne. And I swear to you that having a passion that you're truly passionate about will make it so much easier to divert your attention and focus over to that passion instead of the acne. Yep. Absolutely. Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I just wanted to add, because a lot of people say I don't have a passion when I say that to people. So it doesn't matter if you have a passion or not. Just the fact that you're looking for one is good enough. Yeah. Just, exploring. You can't just stand still. You have to explore if you don't have a passion. And if you do have a passion, go do it.
Yeah.
The world is yours.
Some little bit of acne motivation for you guys up in here. I honestly think I can never talk about this enough, because
that's true.
I feel like there's always people who are dealing with this, and there's always somebody who can use these words, and I could have used these words. So just knowing that I could have used these, and I know that there are those same people out there, and I don't want to do a disservice by not helping people kind of like figure out what they're doing. And kind of just, even if you just had a little bit of an idea that you now are holding on to after listening to this video, then we've kind of done our job here. I don't know. I hate that people have to deal with the acne thing, and I just want to make it a little better for you. So
and I hope this doesn't only help the people who have acne, but helps the other people who maybe have friends who have acne and stuff like that, and just like maybe you want to reach out to them, like because that helps a lot, man. Just having someone reach out to you and like offering help, that's awesome.
Good point, man. Yeah, that's a damn good point. Or for anybody who just has never had acne at all, And maybe you're not someone who talks bad about a bunch of people, but before you ever do, or if you ever hear one of your friends start talking about, oh yeah, remember Steve, dude, he's such a pizza face looking piece of shit, you can be like, stop that. Stop what you're doing right now, dude, because people are actually going through extremely depressing situations because of your dumbass needing to make a quick joke. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, obviously you can tell that we are both very fired up about this topic. We've dealt with it. It's very near and dear to both of us. It's very deep hitting. So yeah, I just wanted to get John on this before he flies back to Norway in 4 hours?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
it's gonna be a long night. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys got something out of this.
Yeah.
Like Brian said, this is something that is extremely easy to talk about because it was such a. It feels like such a big chapter of my life as well. So it's really nice to actually share this story for the first time because I haven't really talked about it on my channel. So I really hope you guys enjoy that.
Yeah, and it was good to talk to you about it because I actually haven't gone very far into it with you, and I wanted to.
Yeah,
So it's good. It's good to just talk to somebody else who has that same experience over acne. Something you guys should do too. Just saying.
Exactly.
But if you haven't checked out my man John Venus, not only has he done all this stuff with the acne that I'm talking about, but he's also a vegan bodybuilder. He travels on a constant basis. His level of production on his videos is out of this world. Literally, you will not ever be bored for a second. So if you have the opportunity to take a chance right now and go check out his videos, just click on over. If you like what you see, then hit the subscribe button and support him because that's what we're all about, is supporting each other, creating a community and things like that. So I appreciate you guys coming in, tuning into this. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Make sure you leave a comment if you have anything else you want to add into this. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already. Team Beyond the Week.
Say, team, lift heavy or die, MIRIN, motherfucker.